Start it. See if that fan's gonna scream. What do you think it's gonna do? You think it's gonna work?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Corey's Garage. We're getting ready to prep for another family vacation. We're going back to the beach. And a little while back, I had done a water pump and stuff on it, which I'd done one before, but it went bad again. So I decided to do a full tune-up on this thing, do the fuel filter, the water pump, all that stuff. Well, I found out when I was working with the fan and the fan clutch that the bearing was out of it. So I ordered a new clutch. I went down to the local parts store and bought everything they had was heavy duty, which already throws a flag on that. This doesn't need to be heavy duty. This is a half-ton cruising rig, you know. And so I bought it. It was like $100 and put it on there. And I'll give you 1 second to listen to find out what's wrong with this thing, and I'll explain to you what the deal is. So listen to the car. Tell what the problem is? So what happens here is a fan clutch is supposed to, it's got like a thermostatic coil inside of it. At idle, it's usually right on locked, it's pretty tight. Well, what happens is when the engine RPM increases, this clutch gives a little bit and the fan slows down for RPMs and everything. Based on, like, if it was say 100 degrees outside and this thing senses all that heat, it's going to lock up tighter and the fan's going to match the speed of the water pump. But what's happening here is with their fan clutch, it's not disengaging. And as the RPMs go up, this should disengage and not be sounding like that. So what the problem is being that it's a cheaper fan clutch, it needs to disengage. And even in this weather, we're at like 50 degrees out here right now, and the thing's locked up tight. Now I can reach under the hood and spin it by hand, but it's not disengaging and it's making that noise. So what's happening is it's robbing power, and my fuel I've run 2 tanks of gas through since I did that. And I went from getting about 18 and a half, 19 to like 12 miles to the gallon. And it feels like I'm pulling like a car trailer behind her, like a parachute. It's really killing the power and it's pretty annoying. So what I did is Acdelco, they make I'll put the part number up in the description and everything, but it is quite a bit more expensive, but I was lucky to find it online for significantly cheaper than what I could buy at the parts store here in town. And so it's supposed to be in today. We're leaving out Thursday, and I want to have that fixed. I don't want to get poor fuel mileage, and I want the thing to be right. So that's what we're going to get into here pretty quick. Plus, I'm going to work on prepping it, cleaning it out, because I'm going to make a trip down there by myself, and I'm going to be sleeping in the car and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But this thing needs to be right, and the fan clutch is not right. So I'm going to take it off, and when the new one comes in, like I said, it should be arriving today. We'll go ahead and put that back on there. I bought the tool for the water pump to do it correctly and put it on without bending the pump pulley and everything. So, but yeah, that should come in here pretty quick, and we should be back to being efficient. And yeah, that's all I can really think of I need to do to it now. I'm just going to check some more fluids and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if in the future, if you're going to buy a new fan clutch, I would only buy the Acdelco. I'd spend the money and not have to do this twice, because you're going to end up dealing with something like that. And I even thought about, well, what if you drive it for a while and it frees up? Well, that's fine and dandy, but how much fuel are you going to burn over that course of time? And it may not free up and work correctly. So sometimes it pays to spend a little bit more money. So as soon as that thing comes in, we'll get it installed and we'll be on the road. And we're back. We got our fan clutch in. This is the Acdelco 15-4694. This is the correct one to put on it, not the cheap parts store fan clutch. Looks just like the one I put on it, but I'm guessing this is a lot nicer. So all you'll really need is a 10mm flat blade screwdriver, and I had to opt to buy this tool to put on the water pump pulley so I could take the fan loose, because you got to unscrew it. I've used a pipe wrench before and everything, and although that works, I have bent a water pump pulley, so I don't want to ruin the brand new water pump doing that. So I've only got 2 more days till I leave out, so this isn't too hard to do, but we'll go ahead and knock this out, see how quick we can get it done. It's not too bad. But yeah, if you saw in the first part earlier, I bought too cheap of a fan clutch, and it's bit me in the bottom here. Find my screwdriver. I try to set everything up and have it ready, but oftentimes you don't grab the right thing. But yeah, I tried to buy the cheaper one, and really it came down to I was going to buy that particular one, but it would take me several weeks to get it, and I was kind of short on time, didn't have time to mess with it, so I just bought what they had. Well, that didn't work, and this thing's locked up tight, not working out. So we'll go ahead and get this pulled off and get this fan clutch changed out. That is one reason I love these GMLS trucks and stuff, because they are so easy to work on. They're not difficult at all. I mean, a small block Chevy is very, very easy to work on, but man, these things are just a breeze. I absolutely love them. Let's see, I need to find my wire cutters. So I can pop that right up. Don't need that right now. Let's lay that down here. So yeah, pretty easy deal to do. I haven't been able to really do much here this week. I kind of got sick and a little behind on what I was doing. The 76K5, it's getting where it needs to be. I'm just putting parts together on it and getting it put together where we can get it running. I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm ready to get that running. In the blue and white truck, I've got the fender wells out of it. Going to get ready to paint the frame and clean up on the cab and stuff. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the rockers on it. I mean, it really doesn't need them, but sometimes it's easier to change the whole rocker than it is to go in there and just cut out small pieces of it and do it. And then I also want to treat like the inside inner rocker with POR 15, get all that stuff cleaned up. And, you know, try to do a good job on that truck. So I'm not so much in a hurry to get it done, but I'm kind of, my biggest things I really want to work on is this Blazer and the Scout. Like, I am super stoked about getting that stuff on the road and getting it done. So I'm lucky to have what I have, but I'm not exactly working on the one I'm super stoked about right now. But when you get scatterbrained and every day you change your mind on a project, it's pretty easy to get sidetracked. Let's see what I'm doing there. Put that there. But you know that little clamp is right in the way. Yeah, I really need to get this transmission pulled out of the 73 and get it over there so I can get it rebuilt. And then try to start driving that rig, man. I'm super excited. That Blazer just runs so good. So we'll go ahead and speed this process up, and then once I get it put back together, you'll see I'll do a little time lapse here, and we'll hurry up and get this bolted back on. It's really easy to get done and everything. All right, so really, there's not too much a difference. I'll pop this off here. So fan blade, just 4 bolts, 13 millimeter. Here's the clutch that Advance sold me. That sucker's tight. Send that one back. Here's the Acdelco fan clutch. There's much to say. It does look a little bit thicker looking. This one actually looks like a flimsy one, but this is actually what looks like comes on all of them. So let's go ahead and put this on there. So yeah, this should fix the problem. I mean, if it doesn't, then it's going to stay on there. So, I mean, I'd like to think that it would. Anything's better than what I was doing. I don't like that tornado making all that noise. And I don't mind using an impact to take stuff apart or like put lug nuts on, but I don't know. I always like to get things done up by hand. Make sure I got no bad threads. Because like on this, man, this thing's spinning all the time, and you can only imagine what would happen if a fan came off because I stripped the aluminum out using that. So I'm just gonna snug them up. I don't know what these torque on here at. I've really never torqued the fan clutch on. I think you can just use good common sense. But that impact will strip these out. So I know a lot of people like to save time, and I'm big into saving time myself, but I'm not going to strip it out. So let's put this to the side and then reverse what we did. Put this back on. We'll get going. Screw this bad boy on. You can see how that tool, it's got 2 little like pins that go in the water pump, and you hold it with a ratchet, which I need to reverse that now to hold it. Okay, that's probably not a good idea what I just did. But yeah, it's kind of janky, but hey, it does work. It beats the pipe wrench. So you'll spin this back on the way it was. It never seems that you can get all your stuff done in a timely manner. It always seems like you're up against the wire, you know? Like I still feel like I got another bicycle to get ready and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, man, you never can seem to get everything done and ready where you're comfortable. It's always a mad dash, you know? it could be worse. Okay, let's see here. That's a great thing about being small, man. You can just get right up here. Please stay. I'll see if I can get that cheer pipe on it without knocking the camera over. Be a bummer to lose that. The tool does make it kind of hard to get. Yeah, that's not going to work. It does make it kind of hard to get in here. I mean, I don't think you got to really get down on this too hard. That's tight enough. Okay, so we can remove our ratchet. I think what I'm gonna do is, this little tool's not that user friendly. I think I'm gonna take a piece of flat stock. Let me get the ratchet off there. See, it's got those two little stobs that go into it. I think I'm gonna take a piece of flat stock and weld a handle on it. That's probably for some other type of water pump, but that's actually what you need for that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna weld a handle on that. Since it's my tool, you know, I had to buy it. I can do whatever I want with it. So I think that's pretty tight. So now we get to reverse the process. See, it feels tight. It feels as tight as the other one, but it's got to disengage. So let's get our shroud and put it back on. Put all our clips and bolts back in it. And hopefully we'll be able to start this in a minute. Excuse me. Here. You ready for the first start, kiddo?
Yeah, but we need to still fix on it for 1 minute.
We need to fix on it for one more minute?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. Well, we got the fan back on. Everything's buttoned back up. If I can talk this little lady into letting me start it, see if that fan's going to scream. What do you think it's going to do? You think it's going to work?
Maybe not.
Maybe not? Then what do we need to do?
Maybe still need to work on it.
Maybe need to still work on it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see what you got. Okay. So yeah, wasn't that hard. Not too bad at all. We might not want to adjust that too much. It won't shut good. But yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Let's fire this thing up and see if the fan's going to make a bunch of noise. All right. Stand back and we'll fire this up.
Well, I want to actually come with you.
Well, come here. Come here.
I'm passing the lava.
All right, cross the lava.
Steph, be careful.
So it still sounds loud in the garage, but the engine feels a little bit more freer. We'll know as we drive it and see how it feels. But yeah, gotta be better than what it was. All right, so we're pulling out. So already, just going up the driveway, I could hear it. Listen. Oh yeah, see, before that thing was screaming. I do not like this stereo. This thing is so bright. I don't think they wired it up where when you turn the lights on, it goes dim. Look at that. It's almost like you got a light in your face. I don't know whose idea it was to do that, but that was put in by the previous owner, and I would like to change it out. But yeah, so far, man, that fixed the problem. Thank you, Lord. We'll get down here and turn. Yeah, before, if you would mat it to the floor, I mean, you could definitely tell the power loss, but you could hear the noise, man. Like, I guarantee they could hear that a mile away coming. Sound like a trash truck. But yeah, we'll go down here. I can already tell a difference. That totally fixed it. So, buy the more expensive Acdelco fan clutch. Don't spend the money on anything else. We got a car coming here. Okay, we're gonna make a right. All right, let's mat it down. Oh yeah, you can't even hear that fan. That is what we're talking about. Absolutely perfect. Problem solved. Let's get this back in the garage and we'll fire it up and listen to it, and we'll make a comparison to what it sounded like before. So just like that, I think it fixed it. It definitely, you can tell the difference driving down the road. It sounds so much better, so I'm pretty happy with that. So from now on, I'll be buying that Acdelco fan clutch. And I think that concludes what I need to do before I go on this trip. So like, subscribe. I hope that helped out. But I think this bad boy is going to be ready to go on a trip. Definitely a full house in here today. Got everything kind of put up and put away for what I'm doing and everything. Definitely happy with what I got going on. Yeah, if you guys like what I'm doing, subscribe. Definitely helps out. Got a lot more projects here to work on. Definitely pretty stoked about the trip and the bikes and everything. So, thanks guys.